All right, welcome back to the final reaction. Nick here, and I'm bringing you my thoughts on episode 4 of Superman and Lois. And I'm not going to lie, this is probably going to be my shortest review so far because it was so far my least favorite episode. With that being said, I still love this show. I still thoroughly enjoyed the episode because I am completely bought in to this show. But I feel like in a lot of ways, the foot went on the gas just a bit, which you can't have every episode be just like a crazy, amazing, epic episode. You just can't. But I was left a little bit like, with this episode. I'm curious how you guys feel. Once again, this is the final reaction. We are a new YouTube channel covering everything nerdy that we are into. And I'm talking about Superman and Lois here. Don't forget to let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. But we have this episode where we get more of the high school, more of the football, more of, I guess, the relationship with Jordan and Sarah, which is fine. I absolutely enjoy that quite a bit. I enjoy the high school aspect. I enjoy the football aspect. I enjoy all of that. But this episode to me just felt so much like a Smallville episode. It wasn't until the very end took place that things really got interesting for me. And I love Smallville. I'm a huge fan of Smallville. I will be rocking the Smallville flag till the day I die. But this seemed a lot like a Smallville episode where you had a guy that had some kind of power or some kind of a situation. What was he, the wideout or the quarterback? I can't remember, but he broke his arm, and because of the exposure with the ocular eyesight, the laser eyes from Jordan, and whatever chemical was there when they're having that bonfire, it caused his hand to reverberate and to heal very quickly. And he was so bummed that he could. I mean, it wasn't my favorite aspect. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not sure if they're going for a Smallville thing. I don't think so. But it just seemed like that. Here's a kid that's got some powers, or has got some kind of enhanced situation, and he can't control it. And first it's cool because he healed. Now he can go back and play, and he's at the party having a good time celebrating. And then it gets out of control, and he's breaking tables, and he's going after the Kent boys and all this kind of stuff. And it was just very much a Smallville episode, and I didn't really like that aspect. I hope each episode is not just a different person who displays different powers, and then they just get sent off to the X-Men school, right? They talked about how they went to a facility for people that are gifted like them, and Kent or Jonathan and Jordan are like, "What's this place?" And right away I was thinking, "Oh, Jonathan, make a joke about Jordan going there pretty soon, doesn't watch himself." But I was like, okay, I'm not familiar myself too much with the comics to know if there is such a school. I'm sure there is, but obviously we know about X-Men and Marvel and whatnot. But I didn't really care for that storyline whatsoever. It didn't add too much to the story, I felt, besides the tie-in at the end, and I'll get into that in just a little bit. Also, we have Superman. We have Clark. His story wasn't too front and center, but that's okay. We have him struggling with still trying to be a father. He's coaching a football team, trying to be Superman, trying to be a husband. Now Lois is feeling a little bit neglected, and I don't blame her feeling neglected. Doesn't matter if you agreed to marry Superman and knowing what the deal is or whatever. You still want your spouse around. You want your spouse to hear your concerns. You want all those kind of things to happen. You want that time with your spouse, and she's feeling a little neglected. The whole Lana aspect was kind of weird because she's getting hit on by what's his face. I forget his name right now. It just totally escaped me. But she gets hit on by the billionaire dude, and her husband Kyle. He's like, yeah, it wasn't a big deal. But I mean, it was obvious. Like, oh, who's that? Oh, we should have you guys over for dinner. And he's staring at her like, come on, dude, take your blinders off. He's definitely got the hots for your wife. And she's feeling uncomfortable with it, so I'm glad they didn't go with that story aspect. But then all of a sudden she wants to have a drink with Lois, of all people. She gives Lois all these compliments about how amazing she is. She goes out, they get drunk, and then the next morning she's making out with her husband, Kyle. I don't know what that was about. For me, again, maybe my analytical hat was not on when I was watching this episode, but I didn't really get what that was about. I didn't get why she woke up so randy, for crying out loud, and so excited to see her husband, who she's been squabbling with all this time. Because she just kept complimenting Clark, and maybe finally she saw that in her own husband. there wasn't really too much in that conversation for me to feel like that whole her wanting to make out with her husband was warranted. Maybe she was still a little too happy off the juice there. Who knows? But that was interesting, and that was kind of weird for me. I liked the whole Lois and Clark aspect. I love Lois. I love the actress that plays Lois. She does a fantastic job, and she did a great job in this episode. She wants to get that story going. Her editor's like, no, we can't do this. We're going to get sued for crying out loud. She goes toe-to-toe with the billionaire, and she's like, you're not going to mess with me. Not realizing that he's got, like, this Terminator-type girl with him who's got all these kind of powers, who keeps saying, I told you he was going to destroy you. I was like, man, destroy. What's going on here? This is like a 1980s movie or something. That girl is really annoying. I think she's the same one that did the laser eyes on the dude in the car. Maybe it was someone different, but I don't know. This wasn't my favorite episode. I enjoyed it because I'm a fan of the show. It wasn't my favorite episode. There wasn't really a whole lot of crazy stuff that happened until the very, very end. Okay? You have Sam Lane, Lois's dad, who is trying to get Superman to understand that he needs to drop family responsibility and fatherly responsibility and husbandly responsibility. He already doesn't have a job, and just to be his manservant for 100% of the time, to do all these different things to make the government happy. And I get you're going to have that kind of pressure as Superman, but what's the government going to do? I mean, honestly, what are they going to do if Superman says no? You had this villain that I was interested in, but he was still like a B villain. This super smart guy who's getting transferred, and he had figured out, oh, Superman's not going to be there, so I can escape. Builds this was it sonar or something? Some kind of like sound device that was hurting even Superman's ears, and it was bothering him. And then when his sons came a-calling, he just does a little bit of whoosh, and does like a sonic boom of his own hands and destroys that. It seemed like a filler episode, right? There really wasn't too much. So at the end, you have the millionaire, Morgan. Is that his name? I gotta look it up because I keep calling him the billionaire. Yeah, so Morgan Edge, you have him going, now that he officially has ownership of the mines and whatnot in Smallville, you have him going into the mines with his little girl lady, strong girl. She breaks through a wall, and there's X-Kryptonite there. I don't know too much about X-Kryptonite, and I'm a Superman fan. I'm assuming he used it to enhance her, and he's going to use it to build an enhanced army so that he can destroy Superman. What's his motivation there? Why does he want to destroy Superman? Is because he wants to be the most powerful man on the planet, and he has to take out the person who is the most powerful, literally. Or what? I'm not sure. Maybe he just wants to have his own army so no one can stop him from what he wants to do. He seems like a slime ball to me. You had the other B character doing his thing. It didn't really last too long, right? He got defeated pretty quickly, and then Superman's like, oh, get the cops out here. He's knocked out. He's not going anywhere. I did like the scene with Jonathan and Jordan, though, when they were in trouble, and they clicked on the, what do they call that? The EKL or something like that? Clicked on the pager, and Superman comes right at the last second to get that boy, and for some reason he knew that it would calm him up in their stratosphere. Maybe that's scientifically proven. I don't know. I would think he'd have a really hard time breathing being up there, but supposedly it calmed him down. Maybe that's what calmed him down, struggling to breathe. But, don't leave him up there too long, Superman. You're going to kill that guy, for crying out loud. But, that was the episode, right? You had Sam calling in a contingency, calling it 7734, which was held backwards or upside down, and it was on the pendant that Captain Luthor gave him. So I'm not sure what about his conversation with his daughter and his son-in-law caused him to call in a contingency plan. In case I don't understand how that, and look at the pendant. Oh, I'm going to do a contingency right now because I don't trust him. I don't know. Maybe it's not Sam Lane. Maybe it's Brainiac, or maybe it's someone else who has taken over him. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but I didn't see enough to warrant him to all of a sudden get freaked out and do a contingency, unless the contingency is on Captain Luthor and we're made to believe that he's going to go against Superman, because I don't think he's going to do that. But we'll see. But either way, this show, it gave us a little bit at the end to get us excited, but most of it was just filler episode. Jordan's doing his thing. He's calmed down a lot, so it was a good idea to have him go to the football team. Everyone else is kind of doing their thing. We didn't get a lot of development here, so I was a little disappointed. those are my thoughts in this episode. I'm curious, what are your thoughts? Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know what you're thinking about this episode. Was I too harsh on it? Did I not understand a whole lot of it? Probably. Let me know. Comment below. And until next time, adios.